Well, the year started out in January with a plan to go halfway around Australia in a bit of a roundabout way. So we said goodbye to the kids and off we went up to beautiful Tin Can Bay, only it wasn't very beautiful at all. It absolutely poured, and that was the start of the big floods at Gympie. Those photos are at Gayndah, where we got stuck for 5 days. We didn't have any problems and survived the ordeal and motored on up to Emerald, where funnily enough they had absolutely no rain. We caught heaps of red claw there, had a lot of fun, met some nice people and had a real good look around the Emerald district before we left for Goondiwindi. We were on a property called Torella, which is a beef and agricultural property just outside of Goondiwindi. They grew a lot of Brahman, but they also grew jojoba plants which produce the jojoba seeds, and they extract the oil out of those for cosmetics and other purposes. So we had a lot of fun around the jojoba factory and that. We were lucky enough to get the crop dusters working and in one instance spraying us while we were out chasing pigs and kangaroos on the quad bikes with my old mate Dougie there. We had a wonderful time here and plan to go back in the near future. Our next stop was Coonamble, and we had a quick overnight stay at the Pilliga Bore. Nice spot for a dip. This watering hole's pretty dry, but the others in town, including the Bucking Bull Hotel and just down the track to the commercial, they've still got plenty of liquid amber there. The cattle on the other end are doing it pretty tough, so they're grazing along the road in the long yard. I hope it gets better for them. From here we headed south down to a property called Moonbucker, which is owned by some very good friends of ours, Gail and John Mann. The property is a merino stud located in Rylstone, just outside of Mudgee. We were having a great time roaming around the property, taking photographs, making some video, until we came across this swarm of bees. Thousands of them, but it was cold and they were quite sleepy at the time. So we had a great time with Johnny and Gail and then moved on to Dubbo. The zoo's a great place to get some good photographs, so we did that. And we wanted to catch up with some friends of ours that live in Nowra, so we headed off via Sydney and made it through there without any trouble. Cole and I joined the Navy together in 1962. Anyway, we finally made it to Cole's place, and he and Joan took us on a trip around the Nowra area, and it's very, very scenic along the mountains there. We made it through into Kangaroo Valley, and no trip to Kangaroo Valley is complete without calling into Fitzroy Falls. The scenery from the top of the falls is sensational, and on a clear day you can't beat it. We decided to head on down through Bateman's Bay, which is a beautiful place, to Candelo. My parents owned this hotel when I was 3. They tell me the old timers used to sit me on the bar and teach me to swear here. Anyway, it was a fun visit. Eden's a great place. That was our next port of call. That's Twofold Bay there. The south coast of New South Wales is very, very scenic, and Tathra would have to have one of the best boat entrances anywhere on the east coast. Very, very picturesque. Malakuda's another great place with camping right on the water's edge, and you can tie your boat up and leave it there. The fishing is very, very good. We decided not to go any further into Victoria and instead headed west. The road to Mount Hotham had been closed due to fires, so we took the Bogan High Road through Falls Creek, and as you can see there was some sensational scenery and no traffic. Some of the mountain roads were very steep, very windy, and in some cases slippery, but all in all, what a great ride. I can recommend it to anybody. Once down the mountain, we made a beeline for South Australia. It travelled along the Murray River until we got to Port Broughton. Some of the best sunsets you'll ever see are on the York and Eyre peninsulas. We spent a couple of weeks here. The weather was fantastic. We caught stacks and stacks of blue swimmer crabs, lots of squid, plenty of calamari, King George whiting, and the weather just stayed perfect for the whole time, so we feasted on seafood before we moved on up the centre. The next stop was the Daly River, some 2,500 k's, and the rig performed perfectly. We had a few stops to make along the way. Coober Pedy is a great place to pull up, plenty of opportunities for photography and lots to see. There's also a lot of highway landscaping. You can't go past Uluru without stopping, and the many colours and moods are fantastic. Whitecliff Wells is the spaceship centre of Australia, and you can't go past the West Macdonald Ranges without taking a helicopter ride. Then it was on to the Devil's Marbles, Tennant Creek, Catherine, next stop the Daly River. If you like fishing, the Daly River is a complete experience on its own. The Daly's a couple of 100 kilometres southwest of Darwin, and it offers everything you could ever imagine. We caught some excellent barramundi and had a lot of fun with cherubin, catching the cherubin, along with lure fishing, trolling, and as you can see, near disasters, but all in all, a lot of fun. The wildlife's sensational, and top of the tree here is the salty. Plenty of them, hundreds of them, and their mates the freshwater croc. There's plenty of them too. Darwin is a fantastic place to visit. There's just too many things to see to put them all in this short video. We spent a month there and enjoyed every minute of it. We went fishing and crabbing and sightseeing, and as you can see, we did pretty good with the crabs. Next stop was the Vic River Roadhouse for an overnight stay, where we chartered a helicopter and had a pretty good look around this spectacular area. It's hard to imagine that these bridges get covered in water during the wet season. This is the original crossing, and it would be covered with 50 or 60 feet of water, just there where the utes parked. The boab tree is a symbol of the Kimberleys, and they look fantastic. Lake Argyle at Kununurra is spectacular, and it's a must-see on any trip. The boat trip down the Ord is sensational, and that's a must-see. The girls certainly enjoyed their champagne on the trip. To celebrate Ian's 70th birthday, we flew down to Equestro for lunch. Lunch was 6-star, the service was excellent, and the location was just 10 out of 10. Perched on the edge of the Chamberlain Gorge, Equestro is without a doubt the Outback's premier resort. To top the day off, we flew along the Coburg Range, which in my opinion is the most spectacular scenery in the Kimberleys, and the site used for filming the movie Australia. The plane flew on over Wyndham, where the 5 rivers meet, and up the lower Ord River into Kununurra. From here we moved on to Corumba to do some fishing. We did manage to get caught with some diesel fuel in the tank and required a police tow back to town. We caught some nice fish, and the bird life was excellent as usual. I took some photos of the cockatoos and a number of eagles catching catfish on the river. I always enjoy them. The weather can be severe at times and the sunsets are unbelievable. We started heading south to Cloncurry, which is the road train capital of Australia. Lots and lots of dust. Julia Creek is home to the Dirt and Dust Festival, and they deserve it, along with the Mauve Water Tower. Richmond has the Chronosaurus, and Hewenden is Dinosaur Central. Caulfield has their race day in August, and we got to Winton just in time for the Winton Cup. It was great to catch up with our granddaughter Taylor, who was on a school excursion. I managed to get out shooting in the ute a few times and got in a bit of pistol shooting at the local club in Winton. We got to Emerald in time for the rodeo and then headed straight for sunny Amber. We stayed a month here at the Calypso Caravan Park right next to the water. The hot rod show was on and we managed to get a lot of things done during that time. It was great to catch up with our friends and enjoy all the local action. The highlight of the trip was getting back to our family who all now live on Lake Macquarie. We intend staying here for another month or at least until the end of January. We've had a fabulous year full of adventure and we're looking forward to the next one. Cheryl and I wish you and your families a very, very happy Christmas and a prosperous and healthy New Year.